Hello and welcome to Play with the D. This is the D, and you are, of course, watching these realms. And I want to welcome you to a very special episode where today we're going to explore all of the amazing things that comprise Watcher of Realms. We all love to play it, but why do we love to play it? I thought that maybe we'd explore the ways. So, in no particular order, I'm going to go over 7 of my reasons for why I think that Watcher of Realms is one of the best gacha games around, and I think that number 4 will shock you. And considering I don't know which one of them is going to be number 4, I might be shocked as well. But one of the very obvious ones, and one of the ones that I think I'm going to start with, is just single-handedly
Taste my claymore.
One of the greatest things to pop into a game, period. Gear swap. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can freely take your gear and swap it around as much as you want. There are no costs to do so. There are no downsides other than forgetting who you swapped a gear to. That's really it. If you want to go through and look at the benefits and the issues with changing any of the gear, it's all right there on the right hand side, available for you to see. You get instantaneous transmission of what this will do for that particular hero. Should you put a bunch of healing gear on Valeria? No! And it'll tell you right away. But hey, if you did, doesn't cost you a dime, and you can go right back in and fix it. Okay? It's not that big of a deal. Now, there is one issue where you do have to kind of currently jump in and out of a couple of menus if you want to switch gear, because, you know, say I did accidentally switch something with, we'll say Regulus. But then I also went and switched that to someone else, for instance. Well, then you would have to go to Regulus and switch that gear back over to Valeria. Or you just come in, click the button. But what is coming is the ability to do this from within this menu to choose multiple heroes, or rather dance between the heroes that you're swapping with much more ease. But without a doubt, out of any feature of any game, gear swap is a tremendous value add for all sorts of reasons. Going in and out of the different gear raids, you know, you don't have to have set after set after set after set of good gear. You can simply come in, move around a few pieces, attempt a trial, see how it goes. If it doesn't work, swap the gear back, or maybe make some new swaps. Okay? You could do all of that without having to cost you any in-game currency whatsoever. And unlike certain games, there are a myriad of reasons why that is so good. Okay? Because it's already tough to keep gold. Imagine if you had to pay every time you swapped gear. No thank you. Which leads us to the next step here. The next little piece of wondrous splendor that makes up Watcher of Realms. And for me, that is that they listen to the community. Now, what do I mean by that? This game listens to the community, okay? Every week or so, they come in and they do what they call developer insights. And they will go through and they will answer a series of questions from the player base, no matter what nationality they come in from. And they take a lot of that feedback and they put it into the game. Things like a pity summon counter that is already live on the Forerunner server and is going to be coming to the global server very soon. Things like having way too much rare dust. Where's mine? Where's mine? Yeah, 6,000 rare dust. It's come up in the dev insights quite a few times. And what's going to happen is they're putting in ways for you to exchange this for other things. So hopefully what will happen is some more good to come out of that. Additionally, they have gone in and listened to some feedback about the heroes' visits. They've tweaked the difficulties for that a little bit. One of the things that came up that is actually a new feature, which is coming soon, is the ability to trial the guild boss. I don't know why I went into the events right there, but you're going to have the ability to trial your guild boss team to see whether or not it is a piece of damage that you're going to want to keep or not. So instead of getting all the way down to the wire and pausing and deciding on if you're going to keep that run or not, you're going to be able to use this new feature, which was originally brought up within the developer insights questionnaires here. So huge bonus when the game listens to the community and takes action, but good action, not just any suggestion that comes along, but good feedback that is generally well presented by most of the people who ask the questions. They are quality questions. I know this isn't exactly zoomed in too well, and I'm not exactly able to read it that well right now, but let's say here's one. Could you make a way so we could upgrade insignias with the lower version? And I am doing the last stages of every promotion raid, and the drop rate of the insignia too are very high. Thank you for your feedback, Commander. Most of the insignia raid stages drop insignias, but we'll be sure to keep a close eye out and see if making insignias exchangeable items will be feasible. See, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And whether or not that actually becomes something, they at least heard us. They took a moment to acknowledge it, and they answered it. The next thing that I would like to bring up is the fact that this game is quite challenging. It is a challenging game. And the prime example of that right now is the Immortal Codex. I have affectionately dubbed it the Immortal Nodex. I have F in class today. I did find a new strategy from somebody who is new at this like me, and I will probably do a quick little featurette on that if I can get it to work myself. If not, obviously there will be a link to the video here, but someone did find a way to use Vortex's ultimate along with Laurel Cheese to survive the shield, or rather the death after the shield, and still generate some points. It's not working for me, but what did work for me was Alistair. So if you were able to pick up Alistair, you've got constant damage, continuous damage that's going on the whole time. Now the shields, I got to admit, going in raw and just trying to blast these shields down is tough. It's hard. It's difficult. It's challenging. But there are ways around it. And it's not just good gear. It definitely helps, you know, having the attack speed, having the rage regen. It certainly does help, because look at that. That's 2 ways through the shield. Haven't even knocked him out yet. Have to break it a 3rd time before I can even get into the boss rush. That's not good. That's hard. That's tough stuff. Now, really it is just that this encounter sucks. They have the timer on the shield way too high. At one point it gets up to like 300. You know, I don't have anybody that attacks that fast. The fastest that I have is clearly Setrum. And that only goes so far because he doesn't have what? A whole lot of rage regen. But Alistair was really the thing that made that content possible for me to get an F without using any cheese. And that was all possible thanks to the summon that just came up. And, you know, that might be on the list. But the game is challenging. It's tough. There are a series of roadblocks and progression checks that will frustrate you for hours upon hours, if not days. I just noticed we actually almost got a D there, so that's good. We like to get the D. The rest of the codex, also difficult. You know, Conqueror Cyrus, that's a battle of how much DPS can you put out. This one is how many attacks can you put out. And then this one is how many attacks can you withstand. I like the idea behind all of it. And there's also lore. We love lore, don't we? But this isn't the only challenging area. Even the Frostfall Jamboree events, which are over now, the stalking attack, that was quite challenging if you don't have the right heroes. The jump from the campaign, from Chapter 8, recommended battle power, 189,000. Now let's take a look at Chapter 9. The first stage, recommended battle power, 599,000. Now this is because Chapter 9 is new. It came out way after Chapter 8, so they were scaling it up. But that jump of 300,000 is massive. That power creep is massive, and it is tough content. That is why I have not gone through to even get up to the next EXP raid, and I should just finally knock that out. Expert's not really that difficult in the beginning. Hard isn't that difficult in the beginning, and that leads us to our next point, which is that this game gives you abundant summoning materials. What do I mean by that? In hard and elite, for every chapter that you finish, I believe it's every chapter, for every chapter in hard, you get 3 summoning crystals if you get perfect stars, and then you also get summoning crystals at the end when you beat each portion of the chapter, or the last portion of the chapter. So that's 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 18, 21. Just from there, 20 summons. The ones that you get in between, and then you get to go into expert mode and do it all over again. Another 20 plus summons. By the time you've done that, you will have already gone through these growth funds as well. Without buying them, you're going to get at least 3 pools worth of gems there. You're going to get 5 more summons here just for playing the game. And then if you make it all the way up to level 51, you're going to get 8 more just for playing. You get a free one every week. You can come into the Dwarven Association, possibly get them throughout the day, every hour. You get 5 of them guaranteed every week. 3 summoning crystals are obtainable every week through the arena shop. 2 of them are obtainable through the guild shop. There are also ancient summoning crystals and summoning shards. Sorry, not shards. These are all just straight up crystals. Ancient summoning crystals and divine summoning crystals for the people who are in Overlord PvP. You can get souls if you've had to trade in too many of your other epics or legendaries. Or you can get other ancient summoning crystals. And speaking of free-to-play friendly, an abundance of materials, the 7-day login bonus right now, by the time it's done, you're getting 11 regular summoning crystals and 2 ancient summoning crystals to try to get lords. And the lords right now that are going to be on the event are absolutely insane. These are 3 of the strongest heroes in the game right now. And they're giving you 2 free shots at them. It doesn't sound like much, but I did a random pool the other day and I got one of the best lords in the game. You never know what's going to happen. And I have not put a dime into this account, period. That's how free-to-play friendly this game is. And it just absolutely inundates you with summoning materials. I had 0 summoning materials left after Christmas. 0. Put everything I possibly could into getting Boreas. After Monday, I was already up to 17. I now have 28 summons again. I've obtained 2,000 diamonds just from playing the game or through rewards. You get summons from the guild boss. They could be ancient summoning crystals, they could be divine summoning crystals, and they can be regular summoning crystals. I hope I'm not wrong about the ancients. No, I am correct. Yes, you can get ancient summoning crystals out of these. Now, that's not going to be in the Nightmare 2 box, but you can get a divine summoning crystal out of it. So this game will absolutely give you the ability to summon. I don't know if you looked at my summon counter, but I have done almost 1,300 summons. And again, I have not put a single penny into this game. And this account is 83 days old. 1,300 summons in 83 days. Just from playing the game and being active. And the roster, if I had gotten less Reguluses, you know, I'd have more legendaries than I have. But I've gotten some duplicates of some really good heroes. Constance is doing more for me than I imagined that she would. Valeria is used on every single team that I have. So this game will be good to you as long as you play it. You will be rewarded. And if you track your mercy, there are all kinds of events that will reward you further, like 1+1 summoning events, or a brand new summoning event that I have never even seen in a gacha game, period. A guaranteed new to your account legendary. So that little complaint that I just made about having an A3 Regulus and an A1 Valeria, which is not a complaint at all, mind you. I just would have liked in those particular moments to have gotten anyone else. This is that kind of banner where you're going to be able to get anyone else. Okay? So if you play this game and you invest your time in this game, they actually will give you back enough to be able to appreciate it every single week, get something new out of it almost every single day. And my only complaint about it is that it just disappears so fast. Because pulling is really fun in this game. It's really exciting. It is always enjoyable, win, lose, or draw. And that is hard to find in a gacha game as well. You know, there are many out there that will just try to rake you over the coals and make you spend. And this one, you don't have to. You could. You may. There's nothing wrong with that. But you don't have to, and you can have just as much fun. So, next. Speaking of heroes, you can level them up faster than in any other game, period, that I've played. Now, I'm sure that that's a generalization at the moment, and there are other games that have features like this. That's all well and good, but the ability for me to click a button and instantly level up 10 pieces of food is phenomenal. Love it. There is no better feature than that outside of Gear Swap. Boop, boop, boop. So, the ability to quick Starup. I don't want to do too many right now because there is an event coming up tomorrow, I believe, for Awakening of Heroes. And that's where you really want to plunk those points down in so that you can get some... Oh, actually, it might be Corridor of Glory, which is even better. Corridor of Glory is a really great... Yeah. Level up, star up, and promote heroes, gain scores for great rewards. So you could do that very quickly, right from the quick star up. You'd be able... Look, I mean, 18 pieces of 4-star food. You could level that up instantly. The only problem with this is that you then get into an infinite feedback loop of having to farm gold or farm experience, because as you farm gold, you farm food. And if you don't have experience to level the food, you got to farm experience. And you only want to farm experience when your EXP bonus is live. This is getting better. And you know why it got better? Because they listened to the community. I should have brought this up earlier. Part of the news, and I don't recall exactly where it is, but part of the news, yeah, it's in here, is that new emotes are coming. We all asked for that. No, what it is that it better be in here. Oh, it better be in here. Here it is, right here. All right. Gold EXP bonus items can be stocked in the storage and used at the commander's discretion. It's as if the Supreme Arbiters shone their light down upon us themselves and gave us one of the greatest blessings ever. You thought Gear Swap was good? This little boosty right here is good. What would happen before is if I came in to the redeem shop and I wanted to redeem this EXP right now, it's going to plunk that bitch right down onto my account immediately. So even though I've already used one, what's going to happen is I'm now going to have 1 day in 14 hours instead of being able to bank that other one, finish this one off, and use it when I need to. But guess what? Because Moonton listens to the community, we all win, and now we get to store those gold and EXP bonuses. So, round of applause for yourselves for doing the hard work and going out and letting them know that that feature sucked. And we let them know, and now it's fixed. So, a little bit of a bonus there that quick starring up your heroes led to the epiphany that Moonton really does listen. And they're doing their best. But do not farm gold or EXP without these bonuses active. If you do, you are costing yourself experience. Okay? Now, there's really only 2 steps left. I believe we are on my number 6 item that I love about this game, and it is the innovative game modes. Things like Tide, which I've unfortunately already done, but essentially it is a game mode where you pull up all of your best heroes, you put them down where you think that they're going to do their best work, and you just fight an onslaught of monsters. They took this concept and they applied it to the Cyrus Immortal Codex fight, and I do like that, but I still think that there's a bit more that we could do with Tide. It's been a while since I played this with music, so why don't we just soak it all in? Go! I can't see shit. All right. I'm probably going to lose this too, which is hilarious because, yeah, I just don't put enough time into this. I really don't. But it's a great spot for rewards. So many things that you can get out of this. So through doing the storyline, you get a hero named Volca. Volca can't be pulled from shards, but if you do the Tide, every 10, I believe, after a certain point, gives the soul shards that allow you to awaken Volca. As you can see, this is a very challenging game mode, but they did just release a new set of perks. So for those of you who were at like level 130, not only did they release the new perks, but they also dialed back the difficulty a little bit. Because this is extremely hard. It's not just a gear check, it's a strategy check, it's a hero check, it's a patience check. But why don't we take a look at the rewards just for a second for this particular game mode, right? So, if we come over here, you'll see exactly what I was talking about. So, at 120, you get an Epic Soul Stone, but at 125, you get a Volca Soul Stone. And then again, at 140? At 140? Okay, so not quite every 10. But they will provide you with enough Volca to unlock her completely. But you would have to get to stage 160. And I do not believe anybody has done that at this time. Yeah, 156 by Red Powder. Nicholas coming up behind him at 155. And Ron, one of the most prolific Watcher of Realms players in the world, still coming in behind at 155. But you've probably seen Ron pop up on the Immortal Codex quite a few times. And I'll tell you who's on there right now that is doing a little bit of a different strategy than the rest of the class. Mr. Murder Inc. himself. Where is he? Uh-oh, did he get dropped down? He was in the top 5 for a while. But the cheese has started to set in. And we've now got some SSSs. But there's Ron. See? Ron. One of the only 2 SSS rank fights against this. But they are using Salazar to cheese the shield. So you still got to do a little trickeration. But look at that. There's an Aracha. Look at that gear on her, man. Hula lolly. 96,000 battle power. So yeah, you know, speaking of innovative game modes, there's the Immortal Codex, another innovative game mode. It may not be the best, but they sure do put out some things. Okay, I would actually be really remiss if I did not go in and show one of the way better features of the game, which is Void Rift. A lot of the challenge lives here. A lot of the innovation lives here as well. So your commander hops on his little horse. He goes for a ride. You click around the map. You get rewards. And as you go through, you are treated with different challenges along the way. If you progress to another level in the Rift and come back, you cannot do auto fights. But that is another feature where they listen to the community. And you are able to now auto fight these after the upcoming update in January. The rest of this particular area is still the same. You will go in and do a fight like you would any other. But as you go along, the fights get progressively harder and the rewards get progressively better. So it is definitely something that you would want to go ahead and do every single week and make sure that you're maximizing the rewards. Some things. And, you know, not just there. The bonuses. Treasure hunt celebration. Do your regular quests and collect these knives and throw them at the board and you will get rewards. And the rewards continue to get better as you go through the floors of whatever this little game is. The one last time was a board game event that I like a lot called the Odyssey of Dreams or whatever it's called. Don't remember exactly the entire nomenclature for it. It's not exactly my favorite thing. I like it a lot, but not clearly enough to remember what it's called. But it's a little board game, and you roll a dice, and not a dice, really. You roll a triangle, and you get rewards. Again, lots of rewards. But it is one of those things where you have to land on like a specific spot, and if you don't land on that specific spot, you don't get the reward. So, but innovation. The game is innovative. And finally, my number 7 reason why I love Watcher of Realms. Honestly, the voice acting.
Taste my claymore.
I love it.
All shall bow down in fear.
They did a survey in the past about the voice acting, and I was a big fan of it. You know, we've seen this video for Regulus 1,000 times. Let's watch it again. The CG animations that they do for these heroes are awesome. And when you see one that you haven't seen before, it's a great feeling. Because you're like, oh, who is it? Who is it? Is it that? Is it them? Is that Ajax? And then you're like, no, it's just Regulus the Beastman, bro. But how cool is that? I mean, it's awesome. Look at that. He shot that thing right back at him. If he could actually do that with that shield, it would be insane. But they have put a lot of time into the CGI and the voiceovers for this game. And so many of us play it without sound. And that is pretty much the reason why I have all of that shit on right now. So that you can hear what it sounds like.
I fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
Thank you, Alistair, for doing exactly that.
Allow me to
Some of them I wish I had videos for, like Aelin. But Kaneza got one, and it's really not that bad. You probably haven't seen it, because you might not even pulled her.
I will always be a student of life.
A lot of effort goes into these, including the jiggle physics, which we're going to get to in a minute. Because every hero that is of the feminine variety, why, you get your very own feature. And that feature is the jiggle physics. Boof. Good lord, lady. Now, it doesn't apply to everybody.
My claymore.
Valyria, she's locked into that corset, not going anywhere. Island, nope, this is a lady. No jiggle on her, all right? Not jiggling. Kriya, I think she got that jiggle. Yeah. Kriya got that jiggle. Stormcrow, she got that jig. I'll tell you who's got the ultimate jiggle physics. And that is Miss Zillatu herself, the queen of the guild boss. One of the first heroes to get a new skin. And this is some jiggle. Let me tell you, that's some jiggle. But wait till you see the Halloween jiggle boy. Oh! Them things is thangin'. And they don't care. They want you to know that they're there. And they'll show you every time. But I absolutely love the CGI in this game. I love the voiceovers. It helps me when I'm making my lore videos because I like to read the story. And I use those videos when I'm reading the voiceover. So, Moonton, I just want to say thank you for making one of the greatest gacha games that anyone can enjoy based on a concept that has been done wrong so many times in so many different ways, but you kind of brought us back to full circle and using the heroes as the focal point of the tower defense game and taking us back to the tower. You don't realize that you're looking at towers because you're looking at your heroes, but that's what they are. And they've done it in a magnificent wrapping that jiggles all the way. So, with that being said, this one went a lot longer than I anticipated it, but I really, really wanted to get it out there how much this game is great. Now, don't get me wrong. I've also got 7 reasons why I think that this game is not that great, and that'll be coming out in the future because there are 2 sides to every coin. But right now, it's after Christmas. You might have picked it up after you heard some friends playing it. It's almost New Year's, and you should enjoy the game because it's great. And you don't have to put a dime into it to do so. So, come on and check it out. And if you do, maybe subscribe and check out the channel too. In the meantime, this is the D watching these realms, coming back and play with me, and have a great day.